All right. Um, Good afternoon. Welcome to the Office of Tax Appeals, also known as OTA. My name is Andrew Wong, and I'm the lead administrative law judge, or ALJ, who will be conducting the oral hearing for this case. On today's panel, in addition to myself, we have judges Natasha Ralston and Michael Geary. Also present is our stenographer, Ms. Lynn Alonzo. This hearing is being conducted electronically. All participants, including the panelists, are video conferencing into this hearing. Should you have any problems with video conferencing during the hearing, please rejoin as soon as possible. If you're unable to rejoin the video conference, there is a phone number that our staff will connect you with. This hearing is being live streamed to the public, and a video recording will be made available on OTA's YouTube channel. Also, Ms. Alonzo will report this hearing verbatim and prepare an official hearing transcript, which will be made available on OTA's website. To help Ms. Alonzo make a clear record, I have 4 requests. Number 1, please speak slowly, clearly, and directly into your microphone or communication device. Number 2, please do not speak over each other or interrupt when someone else is speaking. Number 3, please answer verbally and with words. And number 4, please mute your microphones when not speaking. If Ms. Alonzo cannot hear, understand, or identify someone who is speaking, she has permission to interrupt the oral hearing at any time to get clarification. Speaking of clarification, I would like to clarify that this oral hearing is before OTA, which is a separate agency from the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration, or CDTFA. OTA is not a court, but an independent appeals body and is staffed by tax experts. As I noted earlier, I am the lead ALJ for purposes of conducting this oral hearing. However, my co-panelists and I are co-equal decision makers and may ask questions of either party during the hearing. Further, our 3-person panel will decide all the issues presented to us, and each of us will have an equal vote in making those decisions. Ms. Alonzo, are you ready to go on the record? Great. Okay, let us go on the record. This is the appeal of Abaya before the Office of Tax Appeals, OTA case number 230112414. Today is Wednesday, August 14th, 2024, and the time is 1:55 p.m. We are holding this hearing electronically via Zoom. I'm lead administrative law judge Andrew Wong, and with me today are judges Natasha Ralston and Michael Geary. Persons representing the appellant, Mr. Abaya, could you please introduce yourselves for the record? You're muted, Mr. Abaya.
Hello, my name is Ani. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Ani. I am the owner of Jerusalem Organic Kitchen.
Okay, thank you. Is it okay if
Yeah.
is it your last name is Abaya? Is that correct?
Yeah, Abaya.
Thank you. I'll just refer to you as Mr. Abaya, if that's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Mr. Ericat, can you please introduce yourselves for yourself for
Yes,
the record?
yes. My name is Ahmad Arikat. I'm Awani's bookkeeper. So I took the case from previous accounting. He passed away on 2023. So I'm right now on his case, working on it until right now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ericat. And the individuals representing CDTFA, could you please introduce yourselves for the record?
Yeah, I'm Nalan Samaravicram, a hearing representative for the CDTFA.
I'm Jason Parker, Chief of Headquarters Operations Bureau with CDTFA.
Good afternoon. I'm Christopher Brooks, attorney for CDTFA.
Good afternoon. We are considering 2 issues today. Issue number 1 is whether the amount of unreported taxable sales should be further reduced. And then the second issue I have is whether appellant was negligent. Mr. Ericat, does that sound like an accurate description of the issues?
Yes, and also maybe we can add more information about this case.
You will have that chance when you make your arguments.
Okay.
So we're just going over the issues right now. CDTFA, does that sound like an accurate description of the issues?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Appellant, Mr. Abaya has not identified or proposed or submitted any exhibits as evidence. Mr. Ercott, did you have any documents that you had
I
wanted to?
did. I just submitted a police department report today, and also I submitted many receipts showing the percentage of the TED during several times actually, which is the previous auditor, he did not make it right. He counted 1.5%.
Just a second,
But not-
Mr. Ercott, you have a chance to make
Okay,
those
got it,
arguments
got
during
it.
your time. So you just submitted it today, you said.
Today, yes, I
Um,
emailed it. I emailed it today.
You mailed it today.
I emailed it.
Emailed it today.
Yes.
Why wasn't this submitted earlier? I think we had
I
a,
just got it from him, and because police report, he went to the police department. It took many a lot of time to figure out, and he just got the report recently, and he passed it to me. That's why we were late for submitting the evidence. It was just police department issue. They were ready for the report.
okay, two things. Could you please wait when other people, because I think our stenographer is having a little trouble
I don't hear the other people was talking.
I mean, when I'm talking, could you
Oh,
wait till
sorry.
I finish? Like,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, right, just
Sorry
what you did
about
right now. Don't do that, please. When I'm talking, just when somebody else is talking, just let them talk, let them finish,
Sorry.
pause, and then if you have something to say, talk, please. Okay, got it?
Got it.
Okay. So we did have a pre-hearing conference. There were deadlines set. So I'm just wondering why this was submitted at the last minute.
Can I say something, sir?
Sure.
Okay, I went to the police department almost since this accident happened. So I went one time, two times, three times, and unfortunately the report's not ready, not ready, not ready. So recently I went after you guys request again the police report. Him said me, is not ready yet. And after that, I give it to my new bookkeeper. I give him the receipt. Say the report's not ready. And all of a sudden, him called me and him said, "Look, your report is ready. You can pick it up." So I pick it up just recently and I give it to the bookkeeper. It said the late is not from not from the bookkeeper. The late it was from the Department of Berkeley. So I went like during the I went like 5, 6, 10 times there to get the report.
Okay.
And you have two paper, I give it to the police from the police report in Berkeley. One says not ready, and all of a sudden him called me and said, "Okay, can pick up your report."
Okay, thanks. I will turn to CDTFA. Do you have any objections to these late submitted documents?
This is Nalan Samarikam. We didn't receive those documents, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Ericott, when did you submit these? And I'm not sure if OTA, we have received them either.
I emailed it just today to the email the one of the email we just connected to each other from the appeal court, and I just respond. I sent all the document just about 2 hours, 3 hours ago, because he gave me the first time the case number, which is not enough. And when he went to the police department, he got the actual report, and I send it back to you guys.
Okay. Mr. Ericott?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I'm
Go
not
ahead.
sure if OTA has received those documents either. So I'm not.
Actually, I send it to. Let me tell you where I send it to. I send it to Nia Khan. Nia dot Khan
Okay.
at OTA.
Okay. You don't have to mention the email address, but okay. Let us, all right. We're going to take a look and see if these documents have been received. CDTFA, on CDTFA side, do you know who you sent the documents to? Did you send them to a CDTFA individual or just to Nia, Ms. Vaughn? You're muted, Mr. Ericott.
To Nia's email address.
So you just sent it to Nia, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Let's take a 5-minute break. I'm going to consult with my panel and we'll take a look and check the inbox and see if these documents have been received, and we'll circulate, and then we'll figure out what to do with them. We'll see what CDTFA wants to do with them. So let us take a 5-minute break until 2:08. Please mute yourselves and turn off your camera, and we'll be back. The parties will be placed in the waiting room. So we're going to put the parties in the waiting room. All right, let's go back on the record. So we looked through the emails. We received some of the documents, specifically the police report, the receipts. We haven't exactly received them, but we asked appellant to resend them. This is what the panel is going to do. There are additional documents that we are going to request from CDTFA as well. So what we're going to do today, we're going to hold the record open after the hearing. We're going to ask the parties to submit those additional documents, and then we're also going to let them respond to each of them to object or to respond to those additional documents. So it'll be like somewhere between 30, we'll give each side 30 days and 30 days. So we're not going to close the record today. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, Mr. Ericott, we did receive a copy of the police report. It looks like it's a photograph. Do you happen to have like it's not a photo, because
This is the only paper he gave it to me.
Okay, Mr. Ericott, do you have like a printer or sorry, do you have a scanner, or could you make a copy of that and send it to OTA and CDTFA?
Only he just sent me by email this copy, and I forwarded to you guys. Think he has the hard copy.
Mr. Abaya, you have the hard copy? You're muted. You're muted, Mr. Abaya. We can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Still muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I get the copy from the police, the original copy. Say the cash is installing, and they give it to the bookkeeper, and they have the copy, and the bookkeeper have the copy. So
Mr. Ericott has a hard copy?
No.
I mean, no, by email I sent it to him. So the original paper what I received from the police department was me.
It looks like someone took a picture of it, and that's...
Yeah, I take a picture and they send it to him.
Do you have a scanner where you could actually scan the document and send us like a PDF of it?
You know, I will ask somebody to do it for me, and I will do that. They send it directly to you, or for who I am supposed to send it?
Send the document directly or a scan of the document?
I will ask somebody to scan it for me and send it anywhere you want, guys.
Or what you could do is make a copy of it and just send us a copy of that.
Okay, how by fax or how?
You could
Copy.
fax it or you can mail it.
By email.
Um,
I can send it to you right now.
we got a picture of the document. What we want is kind of a better representation of the document, a better
Okay.
copy.
Okay, I will do that.
I will let you and your Mr. Ericott figure out how to do that. Like I said, after the hearing, we'll set a deadline, 30 days. You'll have ample time, and then you'll send it in to us along with the additional receipts that you have, and then CDTFA will have a chance to respond to those. Okay?
Yeah, the only reason, what bother me, 3 people sit there. We're working hard here, in the restaurant, and this is for me. This is crazy. This is, I mean, this is the law, but this is taxpayer. Go away. This is not right. 3
Oh,
people,
Mr.
lawyer and another guy.
Mr. Abaya,
Yes, sir.
you'll have a chance to argue your case. We're trying to give you as much opportunity to provide what you need and give CDTFA, also be fair to CDTFA to respond to what you're submitting. So you'll have a chance to do that.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Now, CDTFA, you have identified and submitted proposed exhibits A through I as evidence. Did you have any additional documents at this time?
This is not a summary. We don't judge.
Okay. And as I alluded to earlier, the panel does have some requests as far as additional documents, and we'll get to that later. Mr. Ericott, did you have any objections to the proposed exhibits A through I from CDTFA?
The one I objected, the report made by the auditor, which is part of it doesn't make sense.
Okay, you can make an argument why it doesn't make sense during your time. Do you have any objection? Okay.
No.
Okay. Thank you. So, okay. We're going to admit CDTFA's exhibits A through I into the record as evidence. Mr. Ericott, Mr. Abaya will be testifying today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And CDTFA, you have no witnesses. Is that correct?
This is not a summary. We don't have any witnesses, Judge.
Okay. All right. When we turn it over to appellant for your presentation, I will swear in Mr. Abaya. So it was anticipated that this oral hearing would take approximately 105 minutes. Appellant has requested 60 minutes for their presentation, witness testimony, and closing arguments, and CDTFA has requested 30 minutes. Appellant, is that correct? Mr. Ericott, is that correct? 60 minutes? Okay. And you're nodding for the record. He's saying yes. And then CDTFA 30 minutes. Is that correct?
Judge, we are requesting 35 minutes.
35 minutes. Okay. I think that should be fine. All right. Any final questions before we turn it over to appellant? Hearing none. Okay. We will turn it over to appellant. CDTFA then will have a chance to respond. And then appellant will have the closing and rebuttal. Before we turn it over to appellant for their 60 minutes, Mr. Abaya, if you could raise your right hand, I will swear you in. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Help me God.
Thank you. Mr. Ericott, turn it over to you for 60 minutes, however you want to divide that. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So first of all, after I just go through all the case, since the auditor, he came to his store, we have some points we have just discussed. We disagree with him. First point, which is the percentage. I went through all the receipts he made in his restaurant since 2018 until now. Most of the receipts, it's percentage for the tip, it's between 8 to 10%. But when the auditor came to his restaurant, he just counted 1.51% from the specific day when he came to his restaurant for the whole day from 8 to 6 or to 7 p.m. And he just counted whatever he got on the specific date, but he didn't go through for the whole receipts in 2018 until he made the report. This is the first point. That mean told me the percentage he made, it's incorrect. He should go through all the receipts and take the percentage from the receipt from 2018 until 2022, which is the years for auditing. But unfortunately, he did not do that. And I need to object that and ask the court and the California Department of Tax to go through all these receipts to make sure he did it correct or not, because for my opinion, he did not do it correctly. This is the first one about, and also I have all the receipts. I checked, some of them 7%, some of them 8%, some of them 10%. So at least he had to take the average for these receipts, but he did not. He took the percentage from the same day he went to his restaurant for auditing, which is unacceptable. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is for the receipts, the tips. Also, he did not take the percentage for the which is one taxable or non-taxable. So for his business, almost 45% of his product non-taxable. He did not consider that. He just made his report and the percentage on the gross receipt, which is he has to take away the non-taxable product from the gross income. I'm not sure what he did exactly the right way or not, but it seems likely he did not do it the right way. For the Abaya, he has this ability before this case opened, and he has almost 73% disability, and he take a medicine. He has also a heart problem. He take a medicine. He go to the hospital. So when they sent him the first report in 2022, was or not the report, the bill or the statement amount was $1,260. He got shocked. He went to the hospital for a couple of days because of this report or statement, which is he was like shocked and surprised for that. So that means he making like this report very sick for a couple of days, and this is also had to be considered when you guys make the decision for that. For the other thing, the previous auditor, when he came the first time to the store, he did many things like on illegally, because he made the report for not the right way. Like the first time he came, he did not go through talk to him directly and do the right way. He went to the neighborhood and make the report what they made, how much they make for the day, and how many clients they come to the restaurant in the same neighborhood, which is unacceptable. Every store has, or restaurant has different rules, different financial situation. So he cannot go to the neighborhood to ask about the business, what's going on with the business. Also, he was undercover for the first day as a client, not as an auditor, which is unacceptable by the law. he should go directly to him and ask him what he wants, not to come for a couple days undercover and ask the neighborhood and check what's going on in the same neighborhood restaurant, if they are making money or not. This, you cannot compare this restaurant with the other restaurant, how they make money, how much they make money. This, I don't know if he did it the right way too. I think you should understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to say for this particular point. This what I need to do to say right now. But if Abaya he wants to say something else, I know he can't do it. So for me, that's it for now.
Thank you, Mr. Ericat. Mr. Abaya, did you want to make any statements? You're
Yes.
still under oath, so just want to remind you that, and you will be subject to cross-examination from CDTFA.
Thank you, sir. You know, how would all this thing happen, basically? So one day this auditor, he come, you know, to front of my customer, and my wife, she told me some guy, he go back and forth, and I don't know what's up with him. I said, maybe, I don't know. I said, maybe. And after next day he come, and after that he come buy something and go back, and after that we find out he's a auditor. So my bookkeeper, he fight, you know, God bless his soul, he fight a lot for this case. And what I do, what I do, the same what I do with this bookkeeper. End of the month, I give him all the receipt, what taxable, what not taxable, and what we bought, what we sell, and he take care of it. And when the auditor come, he tell me, okay, don't worry about it. You pay what you're supposed to pay. I said, okay, I don't want no problem. He said, no, you don't have no problem. I'm absolutely, you don't owe him nothing. We went for 2 hearings, and we argument on this and that and then and that. And the guy he have cancer, basically. No, he don't figure it out, this cancer yet. But during the hearing, he take too much, you know, painkiller. But those guys, and he told me, you don't owe him nothing. I said, this is the paper. This is what we pay. This is what we owe. I said, okay. So he told me, I have all the paper. I have everything. I will take care of it. Don't worry about it. I said, okay. The first hearing, second hearing, okay. Him decide. You know, my God bless his soul, my bookkeeper, my old bookkeeper, and auditor to come to the store, you know, to sit in the store, how long he work. So in the morning, he come early in the morning. He comes, sit all day, run after each customer, take the receipt, check what's what taxable, what not taxable. End of the day, end of the day, when he see the result, it's like 55 or 44%. I don't remember exactly what it was in those days. And I asked him, I said, you see in your eye, you know, this is what we say. He said, you know, I see it, but the
Mr.
problem is
Abaya,
not me. Yes, sir.
could you just slow down just a little bit, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
So he come to the store after agreement, my bookkeeper and the auditor, to come to sit in the restaurant. So he comes sit all day. He come after each customer, run after him, check the receipt, everything is fine. End of the day, yeah, I told him, okay, so what now? He said, yeah, it's look like 55 or 45% or whatever, you know, it's reasonable. And I said, what do you think about that? I tell him this is what we do. And he told me it's not me. I said, who is it then? He said, no, this is from the office. I said, office or not office. So I called the bookkeeper, my old bookkeeper, and I tell him this is what's happened. And all of a sudden he said, don't worry, we can appeal it, we can go to court. I said, it's fine. When he said, I promise you, you don't owe him nothing. I said, okay, fine. And all of a sudden, you know, he tell me, you know, next week, you know, I have to go to therapy. Well, after 1 week, I will come back and we take care of it. Don't worry about it. Why he was worried about it so much? Because what's happened before the Christmas, 2 days before the Christmas, him sent me receipt for 100,000 I have to pay. And my wife, she asked me, what's the matter with you? I said, nothing. It's just my chest here. So I ended up I ended up in the emergency room with stroke. So give me pills to don't get to don't be dead. How people like those send you something like that 2 days before the Christmas? You know, just for the neighborhood, you don't have no feeling. You cannot wait like 2-3 days that the Christmas be out. You know, and this is what we sell. What killing me the most bad thing, you know what killing me? Those people don't care about nobody. After the COVID, my business become very slow. So I start to bring vegetables, sell vegetable and orange juice and tomato and everything, basically bananas, cherry, everything. More cheap and safe to survive in business. And he see it with his own eye when he come. Now, you know, all the food it was to go, nothing, nobody can say it, everybody panic. So I have to stay in business. So I start to sell vegetable and still everything. And this is how it was. And him say, no, this is this. And after above that, somebody broke my restaurant and take the cash register, take a lot of stuff from my restaurant. Why? I'm panic from the sale tax. I pay even more, wherever, just leave me alone, you know. And I don't know, you know, I pay what I'm supposed to pay. I don't try to, you know, take $1 from taxpayer or something. And I'm not much with reading and writing, but I did the best I can, basically. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Abaya.
You're welcome.
I will now turn it over to CDTFA to see if they have any questions on cross-examination.
This is Naran Samavikram. We don't have any questions for the witness, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ericat?
Yeah, I want to add something about his restaurant financial situation. When I'm doing his tax return for the last 2 years, he didn't get any income because he most likely just paying the expenses for his employees or his expenses for the rent and bills. I didn't make any money. And he, after the COVID-19, he made a lot, he had a lot of bad situation, financial hardship. So he couldn't make money and almost he about to close his business. And beside that, the sales tax department just pushing him hard to pay the money for nothing. And when I check, he didn't make any money right now. He's thinking not from now, for about 2 years to close his business because he's losing money, not making money. And sales tax department send him the bills with the interest and fees, plus the estimated tax for since 2018, which is make it like very hard for him to respond or even to pay anything. So I don't know if this is the right thing to do because he still has the very bad situation for his business, and he's not making money. He didn't make money before, and he will not make money in the future. So with this case, they should just correct this decision for the statement to make like a justice for him, because for the real, his business doesn't make any money, doesn't make any like benefits for him, and he right now trying to make the right decision to close this business. This is the point I need just to represent.
Thank you, Mr. Ericat. All right, so now I will turn to my co-panelists to see if they have any questions for Mr. Abaya with regards to his testimony, or Mr. Ericat with regards to their case or argument, starting with Judge Geary.
Thank you, Judge Wong. Mr. Abaya, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. I want to ask you a little bit about general questions about how the restaurant operated The audit file indicates that you are open from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. 7 days a week. Is that correct?
Now we start to close one day. I
When did
close
you-
one day.
When did you
Huh?
start that?
We started like about, I don't remember exactly, about a year, almost a year now. Less than a year. I don't remember exactly when.
But after the period that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe your client base? I don't know where your restaurant is located relative.
My restaurant is in North Berkeley. I've been here for about more than 20 years, and this is it's neighborhood restaurant. It's basically it's very nice people, all the neighborhood, very nice people, and I make it. I did the best because the situation right now is very bad, so I dropped the prices to make you know people who have a hard time. So my profit is very small, to make sure everybody, get, reasonable prices for the neighborhood. It's hard for me. I work hard, but it's fine. At least I keep going,
All right,
and
Mr. Abaya, let me interrupt you. I was just trying to get an idea about your client base. Is your client base essentially people who live in the neighborhood?
yes, and sometimes people come from all over, from anywhere. Some people come to visit from New York, sometimes come eat at my restaurant to visit neighborhood here,
But
from neighborhood.
it's
Yeah,
not mostly students.
No, we far away students. Students like 1%, less than 1% even.
Okay,
It's families. It's families. It's a
okay.
it's healthy choice we have. Everything we use a lot of organic. So this is basically most of my restaurant 50 and up. You
All
know,
right. All right.
because people watch what he eat basically.
Mr. Abaya, try to listen to my question and just answer the question, or this hearing is going to last much longer than we all want
Sorry.
it to.
Thank you for your time.
And try not to interrupt when somebody else is speaking. Let me ask you this. How does it work when you order at your restaurant? Do people order from the table? Do servers come around and take orders, or do they order from the counter?
Okay, people order from the counter.
And did you, during the period of time that CDTFA was auditing the restaurant for, which was May of 2018 through March of 2021, did you use a point of sale system?
I don't know what's the point of sale.
How did you ring up or record your sales? Or did you have
Oh,
a
we have cash register. Yeah, cash
Oh,
register.
all right. And the cash register produced tapes?
Yeah, tapes and everything. Yeah.
What would you estimate to have been the typical percentage of sales that you made to go?
During 2018, 19, was 100% to go. It's all the food was to go.
And why was that?
Because after COVID and nobody wanna sit, everybody panic. So for me, it's better, for me and for the customer, everybody take the food to go. Because I don't, this is a lot of people don't want to use even silverware, plastic. So we decide everybody to go. After
Did
the
you
COVID, 3 years during this time, all the food was to go.
okay?
So sorry.
Did you mean, are you saying that COVID is why you
Yes.
the pandemic is what
Yeah.
caused it?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So during the COVID pandemic, all your food was to go?
Yes, sir.
Would you allow people to sit in your restaurant and eat?
Now, yes, but before I don't allow nobody to sit because some people panic, don't want to sit, no people sit. So it's a food to go. We was
So during COVID, all of your sales were to go.
Yes, sir.
And you said 2018. I believe COVID was later, 2019 and early 2020. Before COVID became a problem and before restaurants started having difficulty serving on site,
Yeah.
what percentage of your sales were to-go sales?
Before COVID,
Yes.
it's like 50-50, sir.
Okay. Now let's talk about how you would do a to-go sale before COVID. Somebody comes to the counter, orders, you put
No,
their order. Let me just finish. You would put your order in, you would ring it up, you take their money, hand them the food, and they'd leave. Is that fair?
Yes, this is how it works. By
And
phone.
did you charge sales tax on those to-go orders?
More depends. Depends what him take. We
Okay,
have cold
so
food. We have cold food, and we have hot food. So cold food, we cannot charge tax on it. We have
okay,
salad, we have hummus, we have a lot of things we cannot. We have pastry, we have a lot of things we cannot charge tax on it. And
So you
only the
ch-
hot food and sodas.
okay.
But the juice we make, we don't charge tax on it.
All right, so you charge tax on hot food to go and
Yeah.
on carbonated beverages.
Yeah, beverages depends. You know what? If you cook can of Coke, we charge you. But if you take orange juice, or you take something we make, lemonade and all this, lemonade, strawberry, any drink we don't charge.
Okay, I said carbonated beverages. You did
Yes,
charge for carbonated beverages.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Um, the did you report to the auditor that the explanation for the difference between gross sales reported on your federal income tax returns and sales reported on your sales and use tax returns, that difference was your non-taxable sales?
Yeah, this is where they have taxable or not taxable. You know.
Is that what you told the auditor?
Yes, the auditor come to the restaurant and see by his own eye what taxable, what not taxable. He said all day, and they come the day before, he see by his own eye what taxable, what not taxable.
All
And
right.
he knows,
Listen to
he
my
see it.
question. Listen to
Oh,
my
sorry.
question, please. The audit report indicates that you explain the difference between your federal income tax return gross sales and your state sales and use tax returns by saying that difference was your non-taxable sales. Is that what you told that person?
I don't understand your question 100%. Sorry about that. But the reality, what we sell, hot food is taxable. What cold food not taxable? What the law allowed us to charge tax? We charge tax on it. With what the law say, don't charge tax on this thing. We don't charge tax. We don't charge tax on vegetable this time. We don't charge tax on a lot of things. Pastry, all this thing.
After you attended an appeals conference and CDTFA issued its decision, there was a 1-day observation at your restaurant. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And did you agree to a 1-day observation? Did you?
I was agree. Yes. We
All
make
right.
decisions. He come. He's supposed to come week before. He don't show up. He called me. He said I cannot come. Said it's fine. Come anytime you want. He say okay. I come next week. I said okay. You will come anytime you want.
All
And he
right.
come.
And did he tell you the results of that observation?
Yes.
Did you agree with him?
Yes, I agree.
The results of that observation were taxable sales of 76% of the sales you made indicated were taxable. Do you agree with that?
The day he was in the restaurant, right?
The day he was there.
It is not true. He can show you the receipt from the cash register what he take. It's not what 76% tax not taxable and 24% not taxable.
Weren't you there watching what they were writing down as far as what was taxable and what was not taxable?
Yeah, he run after each customer, take the receipt and write it down. And end of the day, he said, print for me the receipt. We print it for him and we give it to him.
And did the results reported by the auditor agree or disagree with what your cash register said?
He was agree. And
Okay.
he, yeah.
The as a result of that same day's observation, the auditor reported that over 99% of your sales were charged on a credit card. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So there were essentially almost no cash sales that day.
You know, that day, another day, most of the people use now credit card. You know,
What would you
No, but-
say? What would you say during the audit period, May of 2018 through March of 2021? What was the average percentage of bills that were paid with credit card?
you know, this time I cannot remember, but it's about 90%, 95%. It's all credit card because nobody want to touch money. You know, don't want to even. You know, this is even the credit card. When him use the credit card, him put some gloves or something, and even I cannot touch his credit card. Anyway. Some
Okay.
customer don't allow to touch it.
Thank you, Mr. Abaya. Thank you,
You're welcome, sir.
Judge Wong. Those are the only questions that I have.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll now turn to Judge Ralston for any questions for the witness or his representative.
Not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I did have a few questions. For the receipts that you were going to submit today, those were with respect to the tip percentage. Is that correct, Mr. Ericott?
That's correct.
Okay. And where did these receipts come from?
The receipt, he gave it to me from his record, cash register record, and I sent not all of them because he had a lot of receipts. We cannot pass all the receipts, but we just give you a sample of the receipts showing it's the tip percentage. It's between 7 to 10%. It depends on if you check the receipt, you see some of them 10, some of them 9%, some of them 7%. We take the average is going to be about 8 to 9%, not 1.51 as he mentioned on his report, which is it doesn't make any sense. I went through all the receipts. I found the 10%. It's very, very high compared to what he reported on his report.
Were these receipts provided to CDTFA at the time of the audit?
I think I'm not sure, you have to ask him the question. Where I asked him for the receipt because you guys request the receipts as evidence. He passed me the receipts and I checked all of them. I took the percentage. I found almost between 7 to 10% all the receipts. But he mentioned the auditor on his report at 1.51%, which doesn't make any sense because nobody pays 1 or 2%.
Okay, Mr. Ericott, I'll ask Mr. Abaya.
Go ahead.
Mr. Abaya, so the receipts that you wanted to submit to us today, were those provided to the auditor at the time of the audit?
You know, I give it to my old bookkeeper. You know, I give him all the receipt about the tip. So I don't have nothing on me. Basically, I give it away. But when during the last months, the last 2 months, I have the receipt for the new, bookkeeper. So I tell him if you want, I show you. End of the day, we print the receipt, how much tip and how much we make. So I send it to him, and he see it's like right now it's about 10%, sometimes it's 7. You know, the minimums go 7%, from 10 to 7%. Sometimes it go higher, 15, sometimes 12%. So the old receipt, I don't know what's happened to him. I give it to my old bookkeeper.
I understand.
Sorry.
So, Mr. Abaya, I understand. So, Mr. Abaya, you gave these receipts. From what time period are these receipts from? Is it
This is
from
those a new one recently. Those received recently. What
what
average tip?
when you
Recently.
say when you say recently, like this year, 2024?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you have any receipts from the audit period, meaning
I have.
2018?
Yeah. I give it to my bookkeeper. The receipt I have, and I think he give it, send it to the, to the audit, to the people in the, he have it. I have it. I give it to him. I have old receipt. I give it to my bookkeeper, and during the audit, he give it to the auditor.
Okay. Did you ever receive those receipts back from your bookkeeper that you
No,
provide?
no.
No. Okay. Thank you. Um, okay. So, so I wanted to ask you about the operations of your restaurant in 2020 when the pandemic, COVID-19, was occurring. And you had mentioned, were there any dine-in services at that time from March
What
2020?
year?
2020,
No,
March 2020 to,
no. I
okay.
don't remember date. I don't remember even when the cave it was.
Okay.
So,
Do you know when you restarted dine-in services? Do you happen to
yeah,
know?
it's about a year, 1 year already. I'm not sure, but maybe maybe more than 1 year, little bit, but exactly I don't know.
Okay. Thank you. Um, and I also had a question for Mr. Ericott. Um, during your argument, you had referred to undercover purchases by the auditor, I believe. Is that correct?
He told me, Abaya told me he came the first time wasn't mentioning himself or represented himself as an auditor. He came as a client. He was just monitor what he was doing during the day, but he didn't mention he is an auditor from the sales tax department. But he told him that after 1 week, and
Um, and,
he
and you had mentioned that this was, I believe your words were unacceptable by the law.
Um, um, I cannot say, I'm not sure if it's by the law unacceptable, but I see it cannot be like real auditing or make sense if you did not mention yourself as an auditor and you came as a client. So well, is that can be counting as auditing by the sales tax department?
So is that your opinion, or do you have some authority for that?
A question about
Uh,
is if this can be counted as auditing from the sales tax department to come and did not mention yourself as auditor and make the report like undercover report. Does that make sense to the and consider auditing for the sales tax department or not?
do you know of any authority that says that they can't do that? I'm just wondering about from your perspective.
No.
Okay. Okay, just curious. All right. That's all the questions I had at this point. You have about 45 minutes left that you can use on your rebuttal and closing. I'm going to turn it over now to CDTFA for their presentation. They have 35 minutes. Please proceed.
Thank you, Judge. This is Nalan Samavikram. Pellant, a sole proprietor, doing business as Jerusalem Organic Kitchen, operates a restaurant in Berkeley, California, serving Middle Eastern, Mediterranean-style fast food. Pellant has a capacity for 20 customers and opens business every day of the week. The department audited Pellant's business for the period May 1st, 2018 through March 31st, 2021. During the audit period, Pellant reported around $419,000 as total sales and claimed around $35,000 as sales tax included, resulting in reported taxable sale of around $384,000 for the audit period. And this is on Exhibit B, page 52. During our presentation, we will explain why the department rejected Pelham's reported taxable sales, why the department used an indirect audit approach, how the department determined Pelham's unreported taxable sales for the audit period, and why the department recommended a 10% negligence penalty for this Pelham. During the audit, Pelham failed to provide complete sales records. Pelham did not provide complete documents of original entry, such as sales receipts, guest checks, credit card sales receipts, sales journals, or sales summaries to support his reported taxable sales for the audit period. In addition, Pelham failed to provide any purchase invoices or purchase journals for the audit period. Pelham was unable to explain how he reported his sales on its sales and use tax returns. Pelham was also unable to explain what sources he relied upon to complete his sales and use tax returns. The department did not accept Pelham's reported taxable sales due to lack of reliable records. The department also determined that Pelham did not provide complete books and records that could be used to verify his reported taxable sales for the audit period. The department completed 4 verification methods to verify the reasonableness of Pelham's reported taxable sales. First, the department analyzed Pelham's reported taxable sales for the audit period and noted average daily reported taxable sale of $359, ranging from as low as $211 to as high as $522 for the audit period. And these calculations are shown on Exhibit A, page 39. Based on the restaurant's capacity, location of the restaurant, and the number of days open for business, the department viewed this as a very low daily taxable sales for this business. For comparison, Pelham's average taxable daily sales based on audited taxable sales were $892, and these calculations are on Exhibit A, page 39. Second, the department reviewed Pelham's federal income tax return for years 2018 through 2020 and compared the sales reflected on federal income tax return of around $1 million with Pelham's reported total sales for the same period. The department calculated an overall difference of around $650,000, and this calculation is on Exhibit A, page 41. The department also compared reported total sales with a cost of goods sold of around $435,000 reflected on Pelham's federal income tax returns and calculated an overall negative reported book markup of over 10%. And this calculation is on Exhibit A, page 41. This means Pellant was losing money every time it made a sale. Accordingly, the department did not accept Pellant's reported sales for the audit period. However, based on audited sales and cost of goods sold reflected on Pellant's 2019 and 2020 federal income tax returns, the Pellant's post-audited markup was close to 180%. And this calculation is on Exhibit A, page 41. Third, the department compared reported total sale of around $254,000 to the rent of around $75,000 reflected on Pellant's 2019 and 2020 federal income tax returns and calculated an overall rent ratio of around 30%. And this calculation is on Exhibit A, page 41. Based on this high rent ratio, the department determined that the Pellant did not report all his sales in its sales and use tax returns. Based on his experience in audits of similar restaurants in Pellant's area, the department expected to see a lower rent ratio for this restaurant. In comparison, using the audited sales for years 2019 and 2020, the overall rent ratio is reflected at around 8%, and this calculation is on Exhibit A, page 41. Fourth, the Pellant did not provide complete sales information for the audit period. Therefore, the department obtained Pellant's credit card sales information for the audit period from his internal sources, and this information is on Exhibit A, page 40. The department compared the reported total sales with credit card sales and calculated an overall credit card sales ratio of around 246%, ranging from as low as 161% to as high as 358% for the audit period. And these calculations are on Exhibit A, page 40. The credit card sales for the audit period are more than twice the amount of the reported total sales. And this is shown on Exhibit A, page 40. This is an indication that not all of Pellant's cash and credit card sales transactions had been reported in its sales and use tax returns. Pellant was unable to explain the low reported average daily taxable sales, federal income tax return sales differences, negative reported book markups, high reported credit card sales percentages, and high reported rent ratios. Therefore, the department conducted further investigations. The department decided to use a credit card sales ratio method to calculate Pellant's taxable sales. But Pellant did not provide complete cash and credit card sales information to determine his credit card sales percentage. So the department reviewed 3 similar restaurants to determine a reasonable credit card sales ratios in the area. These 3 restaurants were located in the same general region as Pellant's business and were audited by the department for similar periods. The first restaurant is an Indian restaurant and audited for the period January 2015 through December 2017. This restaurant serves various types of Indian food, carbonated and non-carbonated beverages.
How
This
big?
rest
How
the,
big this restaurant? He sell liquor. He sell this next door.
Mr. Abaya,
Sorry.
Mr. Abaya, sorry.
Because he don't talk no
Mr. Abaya,
sense.
Mr. Abaya, sorry. This is the CDTFA's time to make a presentation. It's not a time for you to
You're talking
question.
about bar restaurant. Sorry.
Thank you. You have a chance to address their arguments on your rebuttal and closing, not during their presentation. Okay? Thank you. CDTFA, please proceed.
This restaurant has a capacity for 60 customers and opens every day of the week except Tuesdays. Based on first quarter 2018 and second quarter 2018 POS sales summaries, the department determined the credit card sales percentage of around 85% for this restaurant. The second restaurant is a Mediterranean restaurant and audited for the period January 2018 through March 2021. This restaurant serves various types of Mediterranean food, carbonated and non-carbonated beverages. This restaurant has a capacity for 40 customers and opens every day. Based on second quarter 2019 through first quarter 2021 POS sales data, the department determined the credit card sales percentage of around 74% for this restaurant. The third restaurant is also Mediterranean restaurant and audited for the period April 2016 through December 2018. This restaurant serves various types of Mediterranean food, carbonated and non-carbonated beverages. This restaurant had a less than 1% of non-taxable food sales and opens every day of the week except Mondays. Based on June 11, 2019 through September 10, 2019 POS sales data, the department determined the credit card sales percentage of around 71% for this restaurant. Based on these three similar restaurants, the department calculated an average credit card sales percentage of around 75%. And this calculation is on Exhibit C, page 129. During the audit fieldwork, Pellan failed to provide credit card merchant statements to calculate his credit card sales for the audit period. Therefore, the department obtained Pellan's complete credit card sales information for the audit period from his internal sources, and that is on Exhibit A, pages 34 through 38. Then the department used the total credit card sales, 75% credit card sales percentage, and applicable sales tax rate factors to determine audited total sales for the audit period. Pellan claimed that his restaurant is not a typical restaurant, but it is more like a cafe and deli. Pellan asserts that approximately 50% of the sales made were non-taxable sale of goods pastries, and hummus, specifically during the COVID-19 pandemic, where he also sold packages of pastries and refrigerated juices, fruits, vegetables, and cold salad on a to-go basis. As support, Helen provided undated pictures of fruits, vegetables, snacks, and pastries he claims were displayed in the restaurant for sales during the audit period. And these pictures are on Exhibit D. Phelan argues that the credit card sale should not be used to determine audited taxable sales because the credit card sales also include non-taxable sales. On or around May 24, 2022, Phelan asserts there has not been any sales sold on a dine-in basis for the last 4 to 5 years. Thereafter, only the taxable sales are reported on the sales and use tax returns. At the appeal conference, Phelan agreed to a one-day site observation at his restaurant to verify the non-taxable sales and the accuracy of the recorded sales. With the Phelan's permission, the department conducted a site observation on Tuesday, June 14, 2022. Phelan also agreed to provide the department detailed daily cash register Z-tapes for July 2021 through December 2021 on the day of the site observation. After the observation day, by email dated June 15, 2022, Phelan submitted a copy of the summary cash register Z-tapes for September 2021 through December 2021, a summary of Z-tape for the observation test day cash register Z-tapes showing summaries of credit card sales and credit card tips for 10 days and a copy of the police report notice and police case report dated August 1st, 2024. And this information is on Exhibit B, pages 63 through 98, and Phelan's today's exhibit. Phelan advised the department that he does not have the cash register Z-tapes for July 2021 and August 2021 because the cash register was stolen on July 25th, 2021. Phelan also asserts that he is unable to provide detailed daily sales reports since the cash register resets the total sales to zero if he runs the reports. Therefore, Phelan only runs the sales report at the end of the month. The department reviewed and analyzed this information and ultimately rejected it. Specifically, the department determined Phelan operated a full-service restaurant. Even though Phelan claims that he mainly sold non-taxable food items during the COVID-19 pandemic, he continued to sell the food items on the menu by telephone or through over-the-counter orders. The department also determined that although it is understandable that the non-taxable sales percentage could increase during the pandemic, Phelan did not provide detailed purchase and sales records to support his non-taxable food transactions for the audit period. Based on the site observation test, the department calculates a non-taxable sales percentage of around 52%, of which 84% of the non-taxable sales were attributed to the highest non-taxable sale of halwa boxes and bakalwa boxes that are not on the menu. And this information is on Exhibit B, page 62, and Exhibit C, pages 134 through 136. Phelan did not provide any purchase records to support that the majority of his purchases were relating to non-taxable food sales for the audit period. On the contrary, information from Yelp shows the most popular menu choices were items such as wraps, lamb and chicken, shawarma, and chicken soup, which are all taxable as prepared hot food. And this information is on Exhibit B, pages 141 through 143. Therefore, the department continued to question the Phelan's non-taxable sales percentage of 52%. The department observed that although Phelan provided the cash register Z-tapes for September 2021 through December 2021, the cash register Z-tapes did not have detailed information to verify the reasonableness of the non-taxable sales. Based on the observation test, one cold food item was consumed at the restaurant's location, but the sales tax reimbursement was not charged. And another non-taxable food order sold on a to-go basis was charged the sales tax reimbursement. Therefore, the department added these two items to the audited taxable sales to calculate adjusted audited non-taxable sales percentage of around 24%. And this calculation is on Exhibit B, page 61. The department also notes that Phelan provided the cash register Z-tapes for September 2021 through December 2021 and pictures of non-taxable food items to support 50% non-taxable sales percentage. The department, however, is unable to verify the accuracy of the taxable and non-taxable sales since the cash register Z-tapes contain summary amounts of the sale for this period. Additionally, pictures do not serve as sufficient evidence to support the non-taxable sales percentage or to determine the time period in which they were sold. Phelan did not provide complete purchase invoices relating to fruits, vegetables, pastries, other non-taxable food items, and total restaurant purchases to determine his purchase categories. Based on Phelan's provided non-verifiable information and site test observation, the department determined that the site test results are not representative for the audit period. However, the department used this site test information to determine Phelan's non-taxable sales percentage and credit card tip percentage. Then the department used the total credit card sale of around $1 million for the audit period, 75% credit card sales ratio, audited credit card tip ratio, adjusted audited non-taxable sales percentage, and applicable sales tax rate factors to determine audited taxable sale of around $900 $51,000. And these calculations are on Exhibit A, pages 29 and 30. The department then compared the audited taxable sales to report a taxable sale of around $384,000 to determine unreported taxable sale of around $568,000 for the audit period. And these calculations are on Exhibit A, page 28. The department then compared the unreported taxable sales with the reported taxable sale of around $384,000 to calculate an error rate of around 148% for the audit period. In determining the unreported taxable sale for the audit period, the department did not make an adjustment for credit card sales percentage for the COVID-19 pandemic affected period of April 2020 through March 2021 because Payland did not provide complete cash and credit card sales information for this period. Also, based on the information from the similar restaurants and Payland's own sales record for the period September 2021 through December 2021, the department determined that it is not necessary to make a special adjustment for the credit card sales percentage derived from the three similar restaurants for the COVID-19 affected period for this Payland. However, the department allowed non-taxable sales adjustments for the audit period, even though Payland did not provide documentary evidence to support non-taxable sales for the period May 2018 through March 2020. Therefore, the department determined that the resulting unreported taxable sale amount in this audit is not only fair and reasonable, but also benefit the Payland. When the department is not satisfied with the accuracy of the sales and use tax return file, it may rely upon any facts contained in the return or upon any information that comes into the department's possession to determine if any tax liability exists. A taxpayer shall maintain and make available for examination on request by the department all record necessary to determine the correct tax liability under the sales and use tax laws, and all record necessary for the proper completion of the sales and use tax returns. When a taxpayer challenge an undeserved determination, the department has the burden to explain the basis for that deficiency. When the department's explanation appears reasonable, the burden of proof shifts to the taxpayer to explain why the department's asserted deficiency is not valid. According to the minutes and orders from the pre-hearing conference, this panel also requests the department to address why the department used only one-day observation test instead of 3 observations to determine its credit card tip percentage and non-taxable food sales percentage.
Mr. Samaro Rema, you have 5 minutes just to let you know.
The audit fieldwork was completed on or around October 18th, 2021. An appeal conference was conducted on May 24, 2022. During the appeal conference, Payland gave permission for the department to conduct one observation and agreed to provide detailed daily cash register Z-tapes for July 2021 through December 2021. Therefore, the department accepted this opportunity to verify the reasonableness of the audit findings. Since the audit fieldwork had concluded in late 2021, and the department had enough information to determine Pellen's taxable sales for the audit period, it was not necessary for the department to conduct any additional site observations. The department only relied on the observation day to determine the reasonableness of the audit finding. After the site observation, Pellen also informed the department about the inconvenience it presented to his customers and his staff, and this is on Exhibit B, page 84. The audit calculation of unreported taxable sales based on the best available information was fair and reasonable. Finally, the department imposed a negligence penalty based upon its determination that Pellen's books and records were incomplete and inadequate for sales and use tax purposes, and because Pellen failed to accurately report his taxable sales. Specifically, the department noted that Pellen provided limited record for the audit period, and Pellen failed to provide documents of original entry to support his reported sales tax liability. As a result, the department had to determine Pellen's taxable sales based on the best available information. In addition, the audit examination disclosed unreported taxable sale of around $568,000, which, when compared with reported taxable sale of around $384,000 for the audit period, resulted in an error rate of around 148%. This high error rate is additional evidence of negligence. Pelland has not provided any reasonable documentation or evidence to support an adjustment to the audit finding, or provided any documentary evidence to establish a more accurate determination. Therefore, the department requests the appeal be denied. This concludes our presentation. We are available to answer any questions the panel may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samarawickrema. I'll now turn to my panel to see if they have any questions, beginning with Judge Geary.
Thank you, Judge Wong. Did you want to, never mind. Mr. Samarawickrema, I've got a couple of questions. The book markup that were computed by the auditor who did the original audit, it looks like that auditor used cost of goods sold from federal income tax returns, but sales from sales and use tax returns. Is that what that person did?
This is not a summary comment. That is the book markup. Yes, Judge.
Am I correct that the taxpayer claimed that the difference between gross sales reported on federal income tax returns and sales reported on sales and use tax returns, the difference was the non-taxable sales?
Yes, Judge. That was the claim that they made at the time of the field work, and the department requested support for that difference. Like what are the support that the taxpayer has to support non-taxable sales based on the initial discussion and initial field visits. The department determined that the taxpayer comes under the 80/80 rule.
But when calculating a markup, does it make sense to simply ignore those other sales, the ones that were reported on, ones which, according to the appellant, were non-taxable sales, whether they were taxable or not taxable? there were there were sales, does it make sense to exclude those from the calculation of the markup?
The Judge Garia, at the initial stage, the department verify whether the reported total sales to the department is reasonable. And the initial computation is comparing reported total sales to the claim cost of goods sold to calculate and see whether there is a reasonable. So after that, the department found there's a 650,000 difference, and if we consider that 650,000 difference, then yeah, the book markup is close to 180%.
The department made a decision early in the audit. I'm assuming it was early in the audit that the 80/80 rule applied, the rule that you're familiar with. And I believe I saw a statement in the audit work papers that said that decision was made per site visit and menu. Is there a menu in the documents that have been submitted as evidence in this case by the department?
Yes, Judge, I can give you the menu page number. Exhibit C, pages 134 through 136.
When you give these page references,
That's a bait number. I'm sorry.
When you give these page number references, I'm confused because Exhibit C is 2 pages long. So by any chance, are these the page numbers from a combination of all of the department's exhibits? They are.
Yes.
Okay. Because my Exhibit C consists only of a notice of determination that's 2 pages long. So you're saying that somewhere in these exhibits is a copy of that menu?
Yes, Judge. So if I refer to the exhibit that we submitted with the pre-hearing conference, the exhibits, there are 205 pages total.
Okay.
Yeah, so the bait number 134 to 136 refers to the menu.
Okay.
Judge Gary, this is Jason Parker. I just wanted to clarify that we did conduct an additional re-audit on July 9th of 2024, right before the pre-hearing conference statement was due. So we had updated our exhibits. So the exhibits changed from, like C was the notice of determination. Now it's Exhibit D. So those were all included with the pre-hearing conference statement.
Okay, thank you. Let me just check and make sure I didn't have any other about the 1-day site visit, Mr. Samara Rakwema. Am I calculating this right that the credit card ratio was 99.84% on that date?
The 92, right?
Well, I had, let me go to that was Exhibit D, correct? Was the original for me? It's the Exhibit D for my original one. The observation test that didn't change. So Schedule 12 R1 12A-8 shows total credit card sales of 1322.65 and total sales X tax of 1324.76. Did your calculation come out to 92%? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, hold on, let's see. Yeah, 92.49.
So what does the department make of that percentage, credit card percentage, which is so much higher than the percentage that it used in its calculations?
Yeah, yes, Judge. And if I may I have a few moments?
Yes.
Yeah. Judge Gary, if you refer to the latest exhibits, page 77 in the original, in the first re-audit, the department calculated the September 2021 through December 2021 taxpayers' own sales summaries. Based on that, the credit card ratio is 76.36.
Okay. And did the department ever calculate a tip ratio for non-credit card sales?
No, we did not.
Okay. Those were all the questions I have. Thank you very much, and thank you, Judge Wong.
Thank you, Judge Geary. I'll turn it over to Judge Ralston for any questions for CDTFA.
No questions for CDTFA.
Thank you. I did have a few questions for CDTFA. Starting with the three businesses that CDTFA used to formulate the credit card ratio. You had mentioned that they were all in the same general area. What does that mean?
Oh yeah, so the first restaurant is 2 miles away,
Okay.
and the second one, the 41 miles away, and the third one 8 miles away.
Okay. And for the third one, how many seats did that restaurant have?
Uh, we don't have that information, Judge.
Okay.
But yeah.
So just to review, the first restaurant that you was used for this credit card ratio was an Indian restaurant, 60 seats. And the audit period was from 2015 to 2017. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so that doesn't include when the pandemic started. Is that correct?
That's correct. And the credit card ratio for that restaurant is based on first quarter 2018 and the second quarter 2018 pure sales summaries.
Okay. And you said that was 2 miles away from. Okay.
Yeah.
So appellant is in Berkeley. When you say 2 miles, is it on the same side of the San Francisco Bay as appellant, that particular restaurant?
Is basically from the taxpayer's location to this location added to. I'm sorry, the first restaurant is only 2 miles.
Right, but is it like
Oh.
on the same side of the bay? I'm not too familiar with Bay
Yeah,
Area.
right now we don't have that info, but we can get that information.
Okay.
if the panel requires that.
Okay.
Because like if I give you, if the department gives that kind of information, it may indirectly disclose
right, understood.
the.
Okay, so we could, I guess we could ask for maybe some of those details in a submission and not reveal confidential taxpayer information. Okay, so that'll be one of the things that we'll be asking from the department. Another question I had was with regards to the site visit. Initially on the site visit, you determined that the taxable sales ratio was 52%, but then you increased that to about 76%. Could you just go over again how and why that took place?
The taxpayer yeah, let's go to the uh, uh, the schedule 12A9, the re-audit schedule 12A9, page number. Okay.
Judge Wong, this is Jason Parker. It's Bates page 62 as
62.
part of Exhibit B.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the line item, the line item 14, sorry, the reference number, the 14. And if you go to column S, that transaction, it says the cold food consumed at the premises is subject to tax. So that transaction was adjusted as a taxable transaction. The other one, the yeah, so the other one is reference number 32, same page. The sales tax was collected on a non-taxable transaction, was considered as taxable.
Okay, got it. And ultimately, so the taxable sales ratio was about 76%. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. How was the 80, so the 80/80 rule, CDTFA determined that that was satisfied. How was that determined that that appellant was satisfied the 80/80 rule?
Based on the site visit and based on the menu, because the taxpayer did not have any non-taxable fruits, vegetables as a menu item, and the taxpayer is a restaurant, not a grocery store. So at the initial stage, the the auditor determined that taxpayer meets the 80/80 rules and everything is taxable unless taxpayer keeps separate records to claim exempt sales.
Okay, I was just wondering because if the taxable sales percentage was 76%, that seems to be under 80, one of the 80s, right? 80%.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering how that was
Yeah,
determined.
it appears that the taxpayer changed the business model after the COVID, and included fruits, vegetables, and it gave, at that time it was a taxable percentage is 76% at that time in 2020. At the time, the department did the site observation, and that's why the department believe that it is not represented for the audit period. And during the audit period before COVID and or before that site observation, the department did not find that the taxpayer is in the business of selling vegetables and fruits.
Okay. And so how did they determine that the 80/80 rule was satisfied during the audit period?
Based on the menu, and everything is the taxable food item. Most of them are taxable food items, and based on the visit and maybe if you check the exhibit C page 122. Yeah, so it specifically says based on the site visit and the menu, 80/80 rule applies to the taxpayer.
Okay, but you said that for the site visit, it was 76%.
The site
So-
visit after the appeal conference.
So Judge Wong, I just wanted to clarify, this is Jason Parker again. In the initial audit evaluation with really limited books and records provided, the auditor made the determination based on the menu items and their knowledge of how other businesses like that operate, that it appeared they were under the 80/80 rule and they didn't have records to present otherwise.
Okay.
So it was part of the initial audit. Obviously, with the site test, we came up with 76% taxable. So it's not under the 80/80 rule. Otherwise, the non-taxable would be taxable.
Okay. I guess even if they did not satisfy the 80/80 rule, they'd still need to prove up their claim non-taxable sales with books and records. Is that a fair, like if they did qualify for the 80/80 rule?
So Judge Wong, are you asking if they did qualify under the
No,
80/80 rule?
if they did not meet the 80/80 rule, if they had claimed non-taxable sales, they would still need to have books and records to support that. Is that?
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Okay. Okay. And I had another, I think this is the last question. So in the decision and recommendation that was in, let me see. Double check. I think it's Exhibit G. Page 185. So there's a line in the decision that mentions, let's see, it says, I'll quote it, furthermore, based on the site observation test, the department computes a non-taxable and taxable sales ratio of 52.03%, blah, 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 of which 84% of the non-taxable sales were attributed to the 5 highest non-taxable sales of halva boxes and baklava boxes that are not on the menu nor mentioned on customers' reviews on Yelp.com. So it seems like the auditor or the department reviewed Yelp reviews. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
I think
Not Yelp reviews, Yelp pictures.
Okay. It was just the pictures. It was not the Yelp reviews themselves.
According to the audit working papers or the audit file, we didn't see any Yelp comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because if they did, I would want to see copies of those same Yelp reviews that the auditor reviewed, but you're saying that was not the case. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, because we only saw the pictures.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. That's all the questions I had at this time. I'm now going to turn it over back to appellant, Mr. Ericat, and Mr. Abaya for their rebuttal and their closing remarks. You can address anything you would like that CDTFA had mentioned. You have 44 minutes. Please proceed.
Yes, my objection about what his presentation about 3 points. One of them, you cannot make an estimate for the operation of the other restaurant based on, his restaurant based on the other restaurant in this area, because every restaurant has specific client and products. Some of them, taxable and non-taxable also. I know this area
Sorry, Mr.
very
Ericat.
well.
I apologize for interrupting. We are going to take a 10-minute break, and you can continue after the break. So
Okay.
let's
That's
go
fine.
off the record, and then we'll come back at 4:07. Let's just say 4:10. Okay.
Okay.
Please mute yourselves and close your video,
Okay.
or turn off your camera, and you'll be going to the waiting room. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. All right.
Oh, okay, thank you.
We are back from the break, and now we're going
Yeah.
to go
I
back.
want to pee. I want to pee.
We're back from break, and now we're going to go on the record officially. So your words are going to be recorded now.
Sure.
and transcribes. Appellant Mr. Ericat, please continue with your rebuttal and closing. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Ericat, you're muted.
Okay,
Can I
you hear
make
me
the
now?
closing? Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say about he's comparing Aouni's restaurant with the other restaurant in the same neighborhood. I don't know how he can compare or make an estimate for other restaurant. They sell beer or wine or other beverage, and they making more money, which is these kind of restaurant, they can increase their income. With his restaurant, he doesn't make or sell this kind of privilege, because the only way you can make money when you have more money than the other restaurant, if you have selling privilege like wine or beer, or you have a bar inside the restaurant like what the other restaurant in the same neighborhood. I know this area very well, and it's almost dead area. It's very far away from the downtown, very far away from the University of California, Berkeley. Also far out, there is no customer coming from different, like a tourist or a client coming from outside the state or outside the city. So that means that just only come to this area the people from the same neighborhood or surrounding. How we can compare these restaurants with his restaurant? Second thing, during the pandemic, COVID-19, he never sell any product with cash because there was no cash that time you can offer because of the disease. Also, the restaurant was closed. He was selling behind the window and wasn't the restaurant wasn't open for public that time. About the percentage of the taxable or non-taxable, can he tell me how he count or estimated the taxable or non-taxable? Because he used to sell vegetables and fruit and cold drink, which is considered non-taxable. But how we count 73% or whatever, which is a taxable selling. This is like, I need to know how he made this percentage. Is any way or method he did use for that? Because what Abaya told me, most of his percentage for taxable just about 50 to 60%. And the other selling, it was non-taxable or product. That's my concern about what he mentioned in his presentation.
Thank you for your rebuttal and closing. I'll now, for the final time, turn it over to my co-panelists to see if they have any questions for either CDTFA or appellant, beginning with Judge Geary.
I have no further questions. Thank you, Judge Wong.
Judge Ralston?
This is Judge Ralston. I just have a quick question for Mr. Abaya. When the cash register was stolen, and you were without a cash register for about a month or so, how did you keep track of your sales?
You know, it was, I think from the neighborhood, you know, we have very, very old cash register. And we use this is very old cash register, even it doesn't print no receipt, no nothing, just to till we receive a new cash register. And this time, it was impossible to buy cash register in this time. It take more than 2 months to get cash register. It was impossible during I tried to buy from anywhere. It was impossible to get cash register for the restaurant. Take me a while. Take me 2 months till I get cash register. And before that, we used very old cash register. From Office Max. I used to have one very old. The old cash register just to keep going, basically. At the end of the day, we see what the total, we write it in the paper, and that's it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Abaya, were you about to say something? Do you want to say something after your?
Yes. About the number, maybe, my bookkeeper, the new bookkeeper, he don't know exactly the number. This is auditor, he make the number. But unfortunately, I have really bad luck. My bookkeeper passed away. If my bookkeeper don't pass away, he was positive. I don't owe him a penny. Even this is my new bookkeeper. He offered $10,000 without my authorization, because I believe I pay what I supposed to pay. And if my bookkeeper, he's still around, he have all the paper, he have all the number, he have everything. But unfortunately, God bless his soul, he's gone. But nothing I can do. I'm not much with number, but he have all the Z report, and he can argument. He was so upset and so mad, and those guys know. I pay what I'm supposed to pay. And I leave it. I cannot do. My bookkeeper, he's fine, but he don't reach the number what this guy he talking about. This is the problem here. The calculation. If my bookkeeper is stay around, it's gonna be a different story. But I did the best I can.
Thank you, Mr. Abaya.
You're welcome.
All right, so that concludes the hearing for today. We are not going to be closing the record. We're going to leave it open, the evidentiary record, to allow appellant to submit the police report and receipts apparently from 2024 that are relevant to the tip percentage. Is that correct, Mr. Ericat?
Yes, this is what what average people pay tip every day. I print the receipt end of the day. I give it to my new bookkeeper, and that's it, basically.
So we're going to hold.
I want to ask you a question. Anybody go to the restaurant? Did ever you put 1% or 2% tip? Nobody do that. I mean, but anybody go to the restaurant? Even this guy, he put 1.5%. I never see people in my life go to the restaurant and put tip 1%. It's no such a thing, tip 1%.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abaya. So
you're welcome. Have a wonderful day, and I appreciate whatever you guys did.
Just a second. So we're not closing the record. We're going to give both parties 30 days to provide some additional submissions. On the appellant side, the police report, maybe a better copy instead of a photograph of it.
I will do that here.
As well as the receipts with regards to the tip percentage. On CDTFA's side, some more information with regards to the businesses that they compared appellant to formulate the credit card credit card ratio. So I'm going to be issuing an order later this week. We'll give each party 30 days to submit those additional submissions. I'll include in my order, I'll mention what those are, describe what those are. 30 days, we'll set a deadline. And then after those 30 days, the other party, CDTFA, will have a chance to respond and address the police report as well as the receipts with regards to the tip percentage. And appellant will have a chance to address the submission from CDTFA with regards to these other businesses that they were being compared to. You could make your arguments, address relevance, admissibility, anything you want. So 30 days, another 30 days, and then we're going to close the record from there. But I
Thank
will
you,
include
sir.
this, I'll include this in an order that I'll be issuing later this week, okay?
Okay, I will send you the copy, you know, the way you request, the copy for the police report.
Is there any questions from anybody? Mr. Ericat?
Yes, what is the period you're looking for the receipt? What exactly specific date or year?
You said that you had sent some receipts to a staff member at OTA today. If you could submit those to OTA, that's what we're looking for.
I mean, doesn't matter what the date is or just
My understanding is, well, if you have any receipts, I guess from the audit period, that would be the best. But whatever, we'll take whatever
Okay,
you
got
had
it.
intended to submit today.
Gotcha. Thank you.
CDTFA, any questions about that?
This is not a summary. No, Judge, we don't have any questions.
My co-panelist, did you want to input about anything? Okay,
Oh.
great. So, all right, so that concludes the hearing. We're leaving the record open. And then, so the oral hearing in this case is now adjourned. Oral hearings will recommence tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Thank you to the parties for your time and your presentations. Be on the lookout for that order later this week.